Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here. Today in this video, I'm going to show you guys what I do to modify my ice fishing sled. I don't know why I've gone about 35 years of my life fishing without ever modifying a sled, making more space for myself, having easier access to tools, rods, all that stuff. So I started watching videos here on YouTube and seeing guys modifying sleds, even putting skis underneath them, making Smitty sleds. And it just inspired something in me to be more practical as an ice fisherman. So I'm going to show you guys everything I put on my sled, take you guys step by step. I am by no means a master craftsman or builder. I might even make some mistakes along the way, but I'm hoping not. But let me show you what I put on my ice fishing sled. All right, we got our Jet Sled Jr right here. We have the 3 runners that I just got in the mail from Eagle Claw. Eagle Claw actually makes Jet Sled. And I have my DeWalt drill, a 3/16 drill bit, and a 5/16 drill bit right here for the screws, screwdriver, and a very noisy cat. Sorry about that. But I'm gonna sit here and figure out how to put these on. I have my wife's blow dryer because you have to heat this plastic and get it to bend around the sled once you get the screws in. Some people say to start from the front and work your way back. Other people say to start from the back. I might do a little bit of both and see what works better for me, because I have an otter sled I have to put runners on also that I have coming in the mail pretty soon. But let's get started with this, and then I'll show you all the rest of the modifications I make to my sled. All right, got my trusty needle nose pliers now. A fisherman's best friend and a handyman's best friend. But I'm not a handyman. I barely know what the hell I'm doing, but let's get back to work. Never been this up close and personal with my sled before. It's got a lot more damage on it than I thought. I'm glad I bought these things because these sleds are getting expensive. I bought this sled off a friend for about, I think it was 20 bucks. He paid $35 for it. Now I think these sleds are upwards of $50 to $100. Don't even know anymore. I haven't been in the market for a sled in years. If you guys know what the prices are of a Jet Sled Jr, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna take this blow dryer now. Probably scare the hell out of my cat. There we go. Now I gotta sit here for a while and heat this until it bends. You'll start to feel it bend gradually as it starts to heat up. I can already feel it bending. So I pre-drilled the starter holes in the front of the sled because I'm gonna start from the front and work my way back now with these runners. But I got 2 more to do now, and then all the fun stuff begins when we get to put all our gadgets on this sled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What the hell is that? They forgot to send me my last bolt that I would have needed to complete this project. So I had to get crafty, and I was lucky to find that old bolt off of God knows what. I just found it on my workbench. Wasn't any project that I did. Must have been a project the guy that owned the house before me did a long time ago. But whatever that guy was building, he saved my butt, because that bolt right there fits the screws for this Jet Sled runner project. So we're back in business. some coyotes going nuts out here right now outside. But we changed locations now. I got all of the tracks on straight. You should start from the front, work your way back with these sled runners, whether it's the Jet Sled or the Otter sleds. Start from the front, work your way back, because I made a mistake at first and I had to take first track I put on and I started from the back and worked my way forward. I had to take it back off and remount it. But now I'm adding all sorts of accessories, and from fishingduostore.com I got these rod holders. I bought 2 of these so I can hold 6 rods on the sides of my sled. I just drilled all my holes for my rod holders. I mounted this one on already using my D-wall drill, and I feel like my hammer drill is a little bit too powerful when trying to drill these screws in. So I'm gonna try to do this one with a screwdriver just to see the comparison, which is easier. So far these things are incredibly easy, self-explanatory to mount, and they feel like they're very well built, very strong, and they look good on your sled too. I really like the way these look on my sled. Look better than PVC pipe or whatever. I might take the drill just to tighten it a little bit better than that, but wow, very easy to install these. Was not hard at all. Got them both installed on here now, so I'm gonna be able to store fishing rods on both sides of my sled. Now I'm gonna mount this bucket holder. I'm gonna have to read the instructions, but it looks like you mount this piece right here to the side of a 5-gallon bucket, like so. All right, now I got my bucket holder fastened on to my 5-gallon bucket, and we had to use a template made out of plastic. I thought this mounted somewhere onto this bucket. I guess it doesn't. It's just a template for you to take a permanent marker. You just mark where you want to position this. Take your permanent marker, mark it in the holes. Drill your holes with an 11/16 drill bit. I used a 9/16 drill bit because that's all I had. Then you're gonna take your screws, put them through the back, inside the bucket through the back. So you got the ends sticking out right through this bracket. You just take these little screws, screw them down on there. Pretty much it mounts on the back of your sled just like that. But we still have this mounting bracket that has this little pull system. It goes on the inside of your sled right here, and it locks your thing in place, and you just pull on that little tab right there to unlock it. So I'm gonna get these screws on, get this little mounting bracket on here, and we'll have a bucket holder on the back of our sled. I got all 4 of my screws now on the bucket mount. I love that this camouflage bucket from Fleet Farm actually matches this sled pretty well, but that's not important right now. What's important is just getting the last of this bucket holder mounted on here. And this is just fastened on here with 2 screws with bolts again. Fairly easy to install. I mean, not hard at all. It's self-explanatory really. It's just using hand tools. Tends to give me a lot of cramps in my wrist and hands, so I've been working on this for a few nights now and almost done, but I'm just gonna fasten these bolts onto the back of this thing right here now and show you what this bucket holder looks like. All right, I finally got my bucket holder and the mounting bracket installed to my sled. And what's really cool about this is you pull this out, slip that in there, and that locks the bucket in place so that it doesn't go anywhere. And this mounting system takes the 5-gallon bucket out of your sled, leaving you more room inside of the sled. And all you have to do if you want to put this on another sled is unhook it, and you can just put it right on the back of any sled, just like that. And it's supposed to hold up to 20 pounds, which If you want to, you can stack other buckets in here. If you need more buckets, you can put your tip ups, more rods, more accessories, whatever. But I got the 2 rod holders, which I can hold 6 rods with. Got the bucket mount, and I got the sled runners all installed now. Now I'm gonna work on installing these auger mounts to the front of the sled. And once that's done, our project will be complete. Well, I finally mounted my Kolpin Rhino Grip auger holders into this sled, and I'm very impressed with these. These were very easy to install. I just had to drill 3 holes. You're supposed to drill or use 4 holes if you mount it onto like an ATV or a snowmobile. But on these sleds, you only have to use 3 of the screws, and it holds it in there just absolutely tight. And I went through a lot of trouble trying to find options for auger holders for this sled. I actually went through several different designs, broke a bunch of parts and wasted some money doing that. And finally I found these Kolpin Rhino grips over on Amazon, and absolutely I'm just really impressed with these. You can just take your auger. This is an 8-inch laser auger bit. You just put it right in there like so. Holds it on there. And I'll show you guys real quick that even with the drill on there, I'm able to carry this entire unit just fine. But this thing is absolutely useful. I'm loving it. I'm loving everything I did to this sled so far, like the bucket holder right here by Fishing Duo store. I'm loving the rod holders and this bucket right here. You just unhook that, can detach it. But I'm gonna have 6 rods, a bunch of room on the inside of this sled. I can show you guys in a second the finished product, everything I did to this sled, and how I packed this sled now. All right, folks, here's my completed ice fishing sled. I'm absolutely in love with this sled the past few weeks that I've been using it. I got to get out a few times and actually fish with it, put it to good use. In the future, I'm gonna add skis to this thing and make it into a Smitty sled. I actually bought some junior skis that are about 40 inches long and absolutely awesome downhill skis. You want to get downhill skis if you make a Smitty sled, because cross-country skis are thin and they cut into the snow, making it harder to pull your sled. Downhill skis are wider, so I found a pair of those at St. Vincent de Paul thrift store for about $30, and I'm going to add them to this sled next winter. But the past few weeks, I've loved this Kolpin Outdoors auger holder. Absolutely love this thing, and I found that if there's snow on the ice, I can just take this, flip it around, and it keeps my battery up off the snow. Works out really well. Back here I got my bucket holder. The Fishing Duo rod holders are working out really well. I mean, everything about the sled runners I put on underneath, it's all worked out really well this winter. And I mean, you guys can do a lot with a little tiny ice fishing sled, as you can see, and I'm really happy I did this because it's opened up so much space in my sled to put more gear, and I'm not dragging behind 2 sleds behind me anymore of gear when I'm bringing the ice fishing shack, all that stuff. So I am really happy that I went through the frustration of this project, because there was a few times it got my blood pressure raising. There was a couple things that happened that I was just kind of like, you know, was this a good idea? But sometimes they say do it yourself, but that always turns into spending more money and stress. But this is a project I'm happy I hopped on, and it's really worked out really well. Check out Fishing Duo. That's Fishing D-U-O, Fishing Duo. If you want the rod holders and the bucket holders, absolutely love them. This worked out really well. Hope you guys liked this video. Stay safe on the ice. Good luck fishing and take care.